that cocktail party is going to be how your sit down interview with Kyle Shanahan starts in like 5 years or 10 years when he's done playing. Done coaching football. He's gonna be like, yeah, man, I used to think you was an asshole. Till the day you walked up to me at the cocktail party, like, that guy ain't that bad after all. But I'll say this year is going to be the first year in a very long time they have to act like a real football team. They really have to take the draft seriously. They can't rely on we've got this guy who's an all-pro, this guy who's an all-pro, this guy who's an all-pro. So we got to study. I mean, we got some guy that can throw the ball to all these all-pros, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now, this year you got it. So this draft, this is going to prove if John and Kyle are really what they say they are in terms of an actual good GM and head coach combination.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be able to hide behind, we got Debo, we got McCaffrey. You can't hide behind McCaffrey because you really don't know what you got there. The only real constant that you can say you really have is Kittle, but I'm starting to realize the years George has the best stats are, unfortunately, the years we don't really win a lot. The last time he put up those career numbers, Nick Mullins, how'd that year turn out? Then last year he showed up, had a pretty good year, but we sucked. Well, and you could arguably say the year before that, when we were at the Super Bowl year, he had a very good year, but he still started to taper off, and we went back to, we got to make him a reserve right tackle because old McKivitz ain't getting it done. So I think this may be a good thing, but as far as Kyle leaving and being on the hot seat, Jed talk all that stuff, it ain't happening because right now there's really nothing else he can do. He's locked into that guy. Aren't we still paying hell, we might still be paying Harbaugh.
What I don't understand is how the Niners really expect to contend in this sense. They had a good offense last year. Statistically, it was a pretty good offense in terms of advanced metrics. McCaffrey should come back. And they added a good blocking tight end on a 3-year deal, a good backup. Their biggest additions were on offense this offseason. An upgraded blocking tight end, an upgraded backup quarterback, and an upgrade at backup wide receiver. Those guys will be better than what they had last year. On defense, this is a defense that ranked 29th. It was putrid against the run, and it's only gotten worse. So how many picks are they going to spend on defense? Are all the early picks going to be on defense? I mean, they brought back Saleh, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, they solved that issue. No. What is he supposed to do with that freaking defensive line?
That's I'm telling you, is really going to be dependent upon him to basically be what people think Kyle is. And we're going to give you lesser than talent. Scheme it up. Make it look good. And that works for so long. But now everybody's seen Saleh's defense. Everybody knows Kyle's offense. So this year, you're really going to have to – I hope he's as locked in as you say he is. And he's going to really have to innovate his offense. We can't hide behind the zone run blocking anymore. Everybody does it. Everybody sees it. It's on film. You've been a head coach for almost 10 years now. We know what to expect. Saleh, everybody kind of runs a similar off your defense. Your defense isn't ultra complicated. It's the Seattle defense. Because we can't get away from that.
If your whole thing with your quarterback is we like Brock, but we don't want him to throw too much because when he throws more than 30 passes a game, we don't win that much. But when he throws less than 30 passes a game, we tend to usually win. Okay, well then you need a really good running game, which they have, and a really good defense, which they don't have anymore. And I don't know. I mean, they seem like they thought they were going to get Dre Greenlaw back. They seem like they tried to get Greenlaw back at the last minute, and now. That's another player they got to draft early, in addition to 3 defensive linemen.
I get that. I love Dre, but let's be honest with ourselves. Dre ain't what Dre used to be because of that Achilles. We saw Richard Sherman come back. That was basically the outlier. Most people who cut and go side to side, front, back with a bad Achilles, after that, they're not the same. So God bless Dre for getting his money. Good that they made an effort. But let's not forget, Dre Greenlaw was like a 5th-round pick. This wasn't a dude that was a highly touted linebacker out of Arkansas. They just hit on him. Same thing with Fred Warner. So they're good at finding a couple or 1 or 2 gems in the draft. I will give them credit, but this is not the year you can squander a 1st-round pick. And, it's not going to be easy pick because Here's what I think. What if Shedeur falls to you and you hadn't signed Brock? Hell, even if you have signed Brock, Shedeur is right there. You get a real quarterback who's been in a high pressure situations. He has a father who has 49er ties. Dion might interfere in other places. He won't interfere here because, hell, he won a Super Bowl here. And on top of that, now you have your long-term solution at quarterback. The whole reason they're going back and forth with this Brock thing, because they really don't know how long do you really want to sign him for? Because we know what them parade contracts are going to look like. Oh, yeah, man, 5 years, $250 million and $65 million guaranteed. We can cut you after the first year. So what are you going to do with that pick? There is no clear-cut, go get that guy. You could talk about the Carter guy, cool. I like Cam Ward. I'm a Miami fan, but maybe. Tyler Warren, everybody keeps talking about him. You really want to spend a first-round pick on a tight end, even though he might be generational? You want to spend that first-round pick on a tight end? Go with best player available, but you got to make sure you hit, because we can't have any more McGlincheys. We can't have any more Solomon Thomases, Reuben Fosters. You can't do that this year. You don't have anything to stand back on.
It just seems to me that the Niners have painted themselves in a corner, and you can say take BPA all you want, but like when you have such glaring needs, I don't see how you don't address them. Like, you haven't addressed your defense. See, I don't see how you don't go defense in round one. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to go offense maybe, but you didn't touch your defense. You got Jason Pinnock and Trey Brown, and you know what I mean? Like, you didn't even do anything. Who? So a bunch of guys on one-year deals. So like, it seems like you have to go defense in round one, if not round two also. And like, I think also whoever you're taking with that pick on defense has to be good against the run. Has to. And like, not just good against the run, but like a difference maker against the run. And then you also want some value either as a pass rusher or in coverage, one of the whatever position you're looking at. But like, I think is non-negotiable. Has to play defense, has to be a big time contributor against the run. Otherwise, what is different about this team than the one that won 6-11 last year?
Yeah, well, I mean, I keep hearing what the Will Johnson pick. I mean, I'm not opposed to you drafting a corner, especially a great corner like that.
I am. Again, I'm sorry. I like him, but Lenore, Green, like those are starters. You technically just need a number 3 corner, and you have like the worst run defense in football. So, like for example, Mykel Williams. If you want to go defensive end in round one, Mykel Williams from Georgia is the best run defender of the edge guys. And is he going to be a great pass rusher? Maybe not a great one, but I think he'll be a good one, a good number 2. And if you have him and Bosa on the same team, those are 2 powerful defensive ends who can set an edge. I kind of like that pick. And if you want a defensive tackle, you might have to trade down from that spot. I'm not sure that a defensive tackle is really worth that 11th pick, but I mean, there's guys in round 2.
And that's what I'm thinking, more your run stoppers in the second round, or kind of people who you can plug and play for those situations. Their first round pick can't be, well, yeah, he kind of this, but he's a great this. No, you got to have somebody, if as high as they're picking, they can't do this fits the. No, you have to go best player available. I like Ronaldo Green. I like Green. But even still, if you can get another true outside corner with speed and height and length, kick him in and let him be a slot corner.
Well, what I want to say real quick is if the Niners do get a player like in the front 7, I think it's important that this player needs to not be a one-trick pony in either way. Like,
exactly.
Don't get a nose tackle who gives you nothing on third down. And don't get a player who's a designated pass rusher who gives you nothing on first and second down. Like, Jalen Walker is really interesting, and I think he'd be a hell of a pass rusher on third down. But on first and second down, where is he an asset for your run defense? At the end? No.
What did he really play?
He had like 30 tackles last year. Like, is he a really, you know what I mean? Like, I think we're drafting him for what he can do against the pass, which is great. But the Niners have to get someone who's like well-rounded, good against both, and great against the run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're on the same page when it comes to that. Whatever you get with that first pick, they need to be extraordinary at one thing, but they need to be great at a couple of other things.
Yeah.
We can't just say, all right, cool, he's a speed edge rusher.
No one-trick
ponies. No. But seriously, if Shedeur is there, what you want to do?
Honestly, I think I would just sign Shedeur in like 4 or 5 years once the team that does draft him messes him up. You know what I mean? Like, it won't even be his fault, but that's what happens. Like, I kind of like Mac Jones on a 2-year deal, and I feel like, you know, you could keep Brock on his rookie deal, have 2 quarterbacks for cheap, and then figure it out next year. Although, I just feel like if you really want to compete in 2025, which I don't know if they want to, I don't even know if they care, but if you want to, like, you have a quarterback, you have 2. You really kind of need a defensive line. It's kind of important, but maybe the Niners can invent a new style of football where you don't even play. Instead of a 4-3, it'll be like a 1-7. I think that could a 1-6.
Well, just hear me out. Hear me out. 2 things that I'm gonna let you go. The only reason I say about Shedeur is because Brock, you said you're absolutely correct. We have 2 of the same quarterbacks. Now, you could argue Brock is better than Mac Jones, but we saw Brock with all of that talent.
Right.
We saw him without all of that talent. You saw Mac Jones without talent. You've not seen him with talent. We don't have that same talent. So if your goal is to try and refurbish this mansion that you just had to gut, yeah, the floors are great. That's cool. But hey, man, this chandelier got to go. We got to do something different. So if you're going to go that route, you may have to just bite the bullet and say, okay, we're going to suck this year. But hey, we actually got a pedigree quarterback who can throw more than 25 yards. And, you know, it's not a wonder what's going to happen. His elbow is fine. He hadn't broke it 7 times or whatever. So that's really my only kind of iffy thing about it.
Do you think Shedeur is a much better player or prospect coming out of college than Mac Jones was coming out of Alabama?
Yes.
Yes.
See, now you're finna make me keep going. The issue I have with the Shedeur hate was no one was talking about this a year and a half ago. They were talking about how great he was, the fact that he was mentored by Brady. Then all of a sudden, the hit piece came out because Deion started talking. He's not doing anything that Archie Manning wasn't doing or anybody else wasn't doing. But you pick up what I'm putting down if you're looking close enough as to why it came out. So that's why I don't understand. Again, I'm a Miami fan. Cam Ward is awesome. No one was talking about Cam Ward last year until out of nowhere, the hit piece on Shedeur. Well, man, he holds the ball too long. He stands in the pocket too long. Wait. So you want a quarterback that stays back there, diagnoses the situation, and gets the ball down the field and isn't reckless and doesn't turn the ball over and is fearless in the pocket. We pat Brock on the back for that, but Shedeur, man, he holding the ball too long. Come on, man, make your lie up. Pick your lie. The last thing I was gonna say was as far as Jed York and his money, no one cares about billionaires' money. Stop talking about how much you're spending, bro. That's literally like saying, man, you ain't gonna believe this. I bought this soccer team and this hockey team and this arena football team. I gotta give up a mansion. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? People are struggling to put gas in their cars, and you're complaining about, man, can't believe I got to pay Brandon Ayuk this $22 million. Stop talking about that, dude. You got fans. Do what's necessary. Just do your job. If you don't want to spend the money, sell the team. It takes money to win. Love you.
Prize Picks is the best way to win cash while watching sports. Baseball season just started. Basketball season is ramping up. The Warriors and the Lakers are in the playoff hunt, and you want some of that action, baby. Best part about the Prize Picks app, it's easy to use. All you got to do to set up a lineup is click more or less on a few players' stats. Plus, Prize Picks is available in over 40 states, including California and Texas. And if for new users, if you use promo code Cohn, put down a $5 lineup, you will win $50 no matter what. Prize Picks is giving away $50 to new users who put down their first $5 lineup, win or lose. So go to Prize Picks, download the app, use promo code COHN.